I thought I was building a life with someone who had the same goals as me. For years, my husband and I scraped and saved every extra dollar, telling ourselves it was for the down payment on our first house. We didn't take big trips, we drove our cars until they coughed black smoke, and I packed sandwiches instead of buying lunch at work. It wasn't glamorous, but it felt like we were moving towards something that mattered. So when I logged into our joint savings account one night and saw the balance slashed nearly to zero, my brain couldn't even process it. At first, I honestly thought it was fraud. Maybe someone hacked us. But the transactions told a different story. Wire transfers, business registrations, payments to a company name I didn't recognize. My stomach turned cold when I dug deeper and found out exactly who that company belonged to. Not a new venture of his. Not even something shady, but for us. No, it was a business, under the name of the woman I had once caught him texting at 2 a.m. A woman he swore was just a friend. That was the night I realized my husband hadn't just betrayed me. He had gambled away the roof we were supposed to live under. The next morning, I confronted him with the printed statements. He walked in humming like nothing was wrong, dropped his keys on the counter, and froze when he saw the papers spread out across the table. What the hell is this? I asked, pointing to the wire transfers. His eyes flickered, and then he forced a laugh. It's an investment, babe. You wouldn't understand. It's business. Business? Using every penny of the money we saved for a house. I shoved the receipts closer to him. Business in her name? The woman you swore was just a friend. The mask slipped. His voice got sharper. She has potential. She just needed backing. You're too cautious. You don't see the bigger picture. I was doing this for us. I almost laughed at how pathetic that sounded. For us? You gambled away our future to play sugar daddy for your mistress. He slammed his fist on the table, the bravado of a man who had no defense left. You're overreacting. We can make the money back. But I knew the truth. Savings take years to build and seconds to burn. And my husband had struck the match himself. A few months later, the truth unraveled faster than I could have imagined. His brilliant investment turned out to be a joke. The so-called business wasn't even registered properly. It was a vanity project, designer clothes resold online, pop-up boutiques with no customers, half-baked consulting, ideas that bled money from day one. I didn't even have to snoop to find out. Creditors started calling me, because of course my name was still tied to some of the accounts he used. That's when the real humiliation set in. Not only had he betrayed me, but he dragged me into his circus without consent. The mistress? She was gone, packed up and disappeared the moment the money dried up. He came home one evening looking like someone had pulled the rug out from under him, because she had. Then came the knock on my door. He stood there with a duffel bag and hollow eyes. She left me. The business failed. But we can fix this, right? I stared at him, at the wreckage of everything we'd built, and all I could think was, you didn't just gamble with money. You gambled with my life, and you lost. I didn't let him pass the threshold. He stood there with that pitiful look, clutching his bag like I was his last chance. And maybe I was, but I wasn't about to save him this time. You stole our future, I said, my voice steady. You burned through years of sacrifice to play knight in shining armor for a woman who didn't even stick around. And now you want me to clean up your mess? No, I'm done. His shoulders slumped, and for the first time I saw him small. The man who thought he was too clever, too bold, too untouchable, reduced to nothing more than a beggar on my doorstep. I filed for divorce the very next morning, closed the joint accounts, cut off every tie. It wasn't easy, but I rebuilt slowly, picking up extra shifts, leaning on supportive friends, and refusing to let his disaster define me. Last month, I signed the papers on a modest but beautiful little home, my name alone on the deed. And when I drove past the rundown motel where I'd heard he was staying, it hit me like a final chapter closing. He gambled away our life for her. Now I own a home, and he owns nothing.